Having the right perks equipped in Warzone is super important. Not only can it help save your life in a given situation, but it can also help you win more games in Warzone. Yo, what's up guys, my name is Mint and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the top 5 perks with the highest KD in Warzone. And also at the end of the video, I'm going to give you guys 3 different combination of perks for 3 different playstyles to help you get more wins in Warzone. So make sure you stay tuned for that, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that sub button as we're on our way to 700 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, hit that sub button so you can say you were here before 700. And also if you enjoyed the content and got any value out of this, make sure you guys hit that like button as it helps me out a lot. The goal for today's video is 5 likes, so if you can hit that, that'd be amazing. Now let's get right into the video guys. Alright, so first let me show you guys the top 5 perks with the highest KD in Warzone. And I'm going to be using a website called Warzone Rank that tracks a lot of different data from Warzone. If you want to check out the website for yourself, the link is down below in the description. But anyways, at number 5 we got EOD with a 1.09 KD. So EOD allows you to take reduced damage from non-kill streak explosives and fire. So basically you'll get reduced damage from grenades, Molotovs, Semtex, and even RPGs. So you won't die to those Timmies hiding in buildings where the RPGs pointed at the door. Well, you will die, but you just won't take as much damage as if you don't have EOD equipped. At 1.09, this is number 5 on the list. Probably because it allows players to survive situations they shouldn't have, giving them a chance to kill the other player, making this KD so high. Now moving on to number 4, we have double time at 1.12. Now we all know double time. It doubles the duration of tactical sprint, and it also increases the crouch movement speed by 30%. Double time is one of the highest picked perks in Warzone, especially in that first perk slot. Almost everybody uses double time, and if you're not using it and you're having troubles with your movement, or if you're having trouble slide canceling, try using double time and see if that makes a difference.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
It can definitely help you out with your movement, and who doesn't like extra attack sprint? Now at number 3 we have Combat Scout with a 1.13 KD. Combat Scout has to be one of my favorite perks in Warzone to use right now. If you don't know what Combat Scout does, is it basically gives you wall hacks. So once you hit a player with one single bullet, even if they hide behind cover, you can still see them through that wall. It's basically legal wall hacks. Perk is one of my favorites to use in solos, and I use this on every single loadout. Not only does it help you kill bush campers, but it can also help you win some of these gunfights that you have in houses or buildings. If you play the new map Caldera, you guys know there's a lot of bushes and trees in that map, and people love to hide in bushes like this is goddamn Fortnite. Especially in solos, man, you're rotating to the next circle and out of nowhere you get killed by a Timmy hiding in a bush. Now you might be asking, how does Combat Scout help? Let's say a Timmy's hiding in a bush and you end up spotting him. You hit him once and he relocates you into another bush. If you don't have Combat Scout, you don't know where he went, it's going to be harder for you to find which bush he's hiding in. But if you do have Combat Scout equipped, it's easier to find that Timmy since you can see him through the bushes. And it can also help you track better as well. Another thing this perk helps with is when you're pushing a house and there's a Timmy sitting in that house. So let's say you see the Timmy in the window and you end up shooting him, and then he runs into the house and you don't know which corner he's hiding in anymore. But if you have Combat Scout equipped, you can know which corner or which closet he's hiding in because you're going to see him through the wall, or you can know if he jumped out the back of the house, which can help you make a better decision of pushing into the house or going around because you know he jumped out of the house. This perk has saved me many times in Warzone, and I absolutely love this perk. So if you haven't tried it, give it a shot, man. This perk is amazing. Now at number 2 we have Ghost with a 1.15 KD. I don't think it's surprising to anybody that Ghost is so high up on the list. It's one of the most used perks in Warzone because it allows you to stay off the minimap even if a UAV is popped. If you have Ghost on, you're basically invisible in Warzone. Nobody can know where you are. And it's one of the most powerful perks to use in Warzone. And I'm sure you already know about Ghost, so I don't have to go into detail about how Ghost is used. So let's move on to number 1 on the list, which is Amped at 1.19 KD. This might be a shock to some of you because it has such a high KD. You would have thought Ghost would be the number 1 perk. But Amp basically allows you to switch weapons faster. So it's used by a lot of players, especially high skilled players who want to switch between weapons because of different situations they're in. So let's say they run out of ammo in their primary weapon, they can quickly switch to their secondary to get that kill instead of dying when they're reloading. Those are the top 5 highest KD perks to use in Warzone. So if you want to increase your KD, give one of these a shot and maybe it can help you increase your KD. Now I'm going to give you 3 different perk combinations for 3 different playstyles to help you win more solo games. I mostly play solo, so I use a lot of these perks to help me win more games in Warzone. And since I know not everybody plays like me, I came up with 3 different playstyles. So for the first playstyle, you're an aggressive player going for kills, but you still want to win the game. So you want to end up with 15 to 20 kills with the win at the end. So for that playstyle, I would be using double time overkill, and tracker. Now double time is crucial because it gives you double the attack sprint and you want to use your movement to outplay some of these players. At the end of the day, even one missed shot in Warzone can help you save your life. That's just how Call of Duty is. Now for all these combinations, I'm assuming this is your first loadout. So you definitely want to have overkill if you're an aggressive player going for kills. This gives you the ability to have two primary weapons. So for your primary slot, you can have a long range option like an AR, and for your secondary weapon, you can have a SMG. It allows you to be more versatile in different situations, which can give you advantage over a person who only has one primary weapon that's used for long range only. So if it's a close range battle, you would come up on top because the other person doesn't have a close range gun, but you do. And for the third perk for this playstyle, I have Tracker. Now Tracker might be a little bit of a surprise to some of you, but Tracker is really useful in many different situations if you're playing solos. Now let's say you're pushing a house and you end up breaking a guy's armor, but he's running away now. In a lot of these buildings, there's a lot of different hallways, a lot of different rooms, and you can end up losing sight of the player, which can ultimately cause you to get shot in the back. But if you have Tracker equipped in your loadout, you can see which way the player went, left, right, up, down. So that way you don't have to guess, which can save your life and get you that kill. Now for the second playstyle, we have a medium aggressive player who's going for the win, but also wants to get a few kills here and there, but doesn't want to go out their way to get kills, but rather focus on the win more. For this playstyle, I would have EOD, Ghost, or High Alert, and Combat Scout. So I would have EOD on because if you're going for the win, you're going to be mainly focused on positioning. You're going to be held up in a lot of different places for long periods of time. And if a player knows you're there on a rooftop or on top of a building or inside a room, they can potentially throw nades, Semtex, Molotovs, and even RPGs at you. And if you have EOD equipped, you can take less damage, so when that player ends up pushing you, you can have more of a chance of winning that gunfight rather than if you were fully damaged without EOD. Now for the second slot, I would have Ghost or High Alert. I would have Ghost if you're in a pretty solid spot in the circle. So let's say they're in the middle of the circle and you believe the circle will come to you. So I would just have Ghost so you can sit up in one of the best positions and just hold out the whole game. But if you're at the edge of the circle and you need to rotate a lot, I would rather have High Alert. And the reason behind that is most players die when they're rotating. So if I'm rotating around the circle, it can be hard to spot enemies, especially if they're sitting in bushes or buildings. You have High Alert on, you can know which side players are looking at you, and that way you can make better decisions when you're rotating, or even challenge the person and win a gunfight. But the number 3 slot, I would have Combat Scout. Since you want to win the game, you're mainly going to be focused on positioning and to acquire the best positioning based on that circle. So you're going to have to push a lot of buildings, houses, and there might be some players sitting in those buildings. And as I said with Combat Scout previously when I was showing you the top 5 perks, this perk is really useful when you're pushing houses and buildings. If a Timmy's camping in a window and you end up shooting them and breaking their armor but they get away, you would have no idea where that player went. But since you do have Combat Scout equipped, you can know which corner of a building this Timmy is hiding, giving you a better chance of taking that building over and killing him. Now moving on to the last playstyle, we have a passive player who's not looking to take fights but wants to win the game. So if I'm this type of player, I would have Cold-Blooded or EOD. For the second slot, I would have Ghost, and for the third slot, I would have Combat Scout. Now for the first slot, it's a debate between Cold-Blooded or EOD, whichever you're more comfortable with. For Cold-Blooded, it can help you when you're rotating a lot. Because recently, a lot of players have been using thermal scopes on their snipers. If you're playing solos and you're rotating into the circle, you end up getting caught by a sniper who has a thermal scope on. So Cold-Blooded can help you with that. Or you can just pick EOD. When you're holding down positions, you're more likely to survive an explosion or grenades of players that are pushing you. At slot number 2, I would definitely have Ghost because you do not want to be on the mini-map or the heartbeat. If you're not looking to fight any players, I'm assuming you're not really comfortable with taking on fights. So having Ghost is super important if you want to win the game. It allows you to stay practically invisible in Warzone until you're in those final circles where you can start taking fights, so you have more of a chance of winning that game. And for the third slot, we have Combat Scout. Just like the last playstyle, Combat Scout can help you with those positions like buildings and houses. That perk is very useful as well for a passive player. That's all I have for you guys today. Let me know what you think about these combinations in the comments below, and let me know which combination is your go-to in Warzone. And I would love to see what different types of players use, so let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that sub button, and if you enjoyed the content or got any value out of it, make sure you guys hit that like button as it helps me out a lot. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.